Welcome guys. I'm going to start things a little bit backwards today. I got a really beautiful message at the end of the read, and then I'm going to tell you this message, and then I'm going to start the read afterward. I was really excited about it. It was like all of a sudden things were coming together, and number 21 was coming up through the whole read, and it was so weird. It kept coming up. Everything was 21. I'd go online, there was a 21. The time was 21. Everything was 21 today. And also I was talking to my son about the year, right? We're going into the 2020 year, which is the 4, coming out of this year, which is the hangman, and how he was really relating to that, and how we're going into the stability of the 4 now. So with the 21, and by the way, the read ended at 210, which is 21, 21-0. For some reason, I went back to look at something else. Oh, a note from yesterday. Because I felt last night, I noted that I felt a weird feeling and connecting last night, but it felt kind of like, you know, an infection would start right when it starts, like it just feels a little off. It's not quite right. And I didn't think anything of that, but I just noted the word infection, right? Because it felt like that. And then today my daughter called me with a UTI. So that was coming up, but also the number 24, which very much represents the Queen of Wands, but also that relates to my daughter a lot because she's Aries rising. So this was bringing all the pieces together for me. The 21 is the end of the cycle in the tarot deck, right? The end of the major arcana that then goes into the 22 as I'm losing my voice because the tarot is called the Fool's Journey. So we go from the 21 to the 22. Once you get to age 21, then you're on your own. It's the Fool's Journey. So I'm like, okay, then what does 24 mean for me? Because 24 has come up for me in my guidance as Omega, the end of karma, just like the 1221 portal of 2012. It was the end of karma as we know it for the twins. So why is the 24 also an ending, and how does that relate to the 21? And because, you know, we end with the major arcana with the 21 and 22, but then the 24 starts into the wands. It's the Queen of Wands. So we've passed the Queen of Wands, the King of Wands already. So I'm like, well, after the 24, just like the 21 is the end of the world and 22 is then the Fool's Journey, after 24 is 25, which is the Knight of Wands. So I'm like, well, then what is the Knight of Wands? And then I got on the ground running. And then I'm like, oh my God, it's like I've been talking about the journey in terms of the relay race, right? So as soon as I write down the Knight of Wands, I get on the ground running. And what do relay racers do? They're on the ground running to catch up with the next runner. How the relay, they pass the batons to each other. One runs, then the other catches up as they come around the bend to meet hand in hand, and the other takes off to finish the race while the first 3 are resting then. So this was really cool how this came together. So it comes up like the 4 runners of the relay race are 21, 22, 23, and 24. 21 is the first runner to leave. They never received a baton. They were just starting the race and passed the baton on to the second runner of the race. The first runner of the race, and then the second and third, the second is the Divine Feminine, the third the Divine Masculine, and then the fourth is the Queen of Wands. So as number 1 goes home, right, because they're tired of waiting, they had 3 more runners to wait for, then 4, the last runner, crosses the finish line because they still need an outcome to achieve because they're still in karma. The numbers 2 and 3 hang back to appreciate the journey in between. So we have 21, 22, 23, and 24. The journey starts with the world, the collective, the karma ending, right? So whoever you were with in 2012 was probably the last karma you were playing out, right? At the end of karma. So your last relationship, or if you weren't in a relationship, a close bond that you had with a family member or friend, whoever it was for you, they were the first leg of the race for the Divine Feminine. So the journey starts with the world, someone who may have spent a lot of time out in the world and had one last lesson to teach you, or a couple. But that represents the collective consciousness, so anyone karmic in the divine feminine's energy. And then ends with the Queen of Wands, now inspired by herself, as the Fool, the second runner, and the Shaman, the third runner, King of Wands, hang out to watch the show. We had the answer all along, like Dorothy. There's no place like home. You had it inside you, your heart, all along. So the point, Spirit's connecting with me, and this was at 232, which is the High Priestess, and the 32, which is the journey. And the High Priestess is just about the psychic abilities of both of you, and 32 is the journey. So it's the two of you, the two, on the journey, that you had it in you all along. It was just your heart, and allowing it to expand, right? So leaving the karma behind was the first leg of the race. Then the divine feminine meets the divine masculine, and then after she's already been on the race, right? You've already been ascending before you met the divine masculine, and then you meet the divine masculine, and you guys are holding on to that baton for a while as you're still seeing each other. When you finally let go to let the masculine go on the rest of his journey to finish off his karma, him passing the baton to his partner or whoever's in his life, in order for them to grow and learn that they can do it on their own without them. But they're still in karma, so they're looking for the outcome, for achievement, like they want to, become known for a talent or whatever it is. But you get my point. It was very clear. And all because of the 21 kept coming up today, which is the completion of the world, of the cycle. And then the Queen of Wands being the second ending, the omega, the end, or the official end of karma. And as you see, I have my little friends in front of you, and runner number 1 is not there, you notice, because they've already gone home. They were tired of waiting for the other 3 runners. This is the divine feminine, this is the divine masculine, and this is the 4th runner, the karmic, who's Santa Claus. They're the gift. It's the 3rd energy that helps you expand, so that then they can go off to achieve. The other one falls back to what they were doing, and then the masculine and feminine sit in between to come together and watch the show on the bench. They're benched this time because they're neutral territory. They're just observing. They're no longer part of the show. So how cool is that? So I hope you like that. That was really cool when it came through. I'm going to give you the read now. And I do want to actually pull a card before we start today from the animal deck, since that's what we're starting with today. Oh, by the way, my sister-in-law made these 2 guys, and I actually brought them home from San Diego when I was just out there in, was it November? Yeah, she made them, and I was looking at them at her house, and I'm like, they're moving to Washington State, so she wasn't actually there. But I called her, I said, I want your deer and your sheep. And she said, okay. So she made them. And then it was so cool that the snowman Santa was bringing the gift, the Christmas gift, to finish the race and end the cycle. And it's funny, I'm just noticing the snowman holding a bird feeder. And there's a bird, the bird feeder comes up all the time because it's in, I forget which card it is, in the Tarot of Sexual Magic, I think it is. There's a bird feeder. That's the sweets and tweets thing. All right, so this is what came up. The lynx, the 18, which is the moon. And again, the 18, the moon, is the god of sin that they used to pray to. It's important to trust your intuition. Even if you're unsure of what's happening, all will be revealed soon, so worry isn't necessary. So that's what we've been learning, how to let go of any kind of fear, anxiety, stress. And look at the man in the moon watching you from above. Remote viewing, okay, of the cat, the lynx. And I always talk about the Sphinx and the minx I always think of, and so here's the lynx as well. The lynx, the link to, from the Sphinx to the minx. The Sphinx is the collective consciousness. Akashic Records is the first runner, right? The world. That's the Sphinx. And then the last is the lynx. Or no, we lynx or the lynx, and then it finishes on the minx. All right? The cat that gets away. Really cool. So it's just reassuring you, don't worry, all is well. Everything will be revealed as what it's supposed to. But I love that the moon came up, and the moon's the underlying energy here, and that's sin. But sin isn't a bad thing. It was the place they were given to wander for 40 days and 40 nights, or 40 years, whatever it was. So let's see, this one wants to be seen too, the 5 of Summer, the dragonfly. Oh, and that came up too. Not in the read, but it came up right before the read. Well, who was I was seeing something, they had a dragonfly up, but focus on the fact that God loves you and always has the highest intentions for you. A positive outlook makes it easier to recover from life's little difficulties so that you can move onward and upward. Okay. Focus on the positive, which is all about faith and patience. So know that the universe has your back. And this looks like one of the pictures I took this summer. And this is the last one that I think wants to be seen, the 3 of Autumn. So we have the moon, and then the 5 of Summer, and then the 3 of Autumn. There's one more, actually, once I come up. The miniature poodle dog. Your most satisfying and profitable careers comes from following your passions, listening to your heart, and doing what brings you joy. Your life purpose is best fulfilled by allowing your talents and true self to shine forth out to the world. All right, so we have a purple, blue, and green there. And I think that was it. The bottom of the deck is the 6 of Autumn, the kiwi. And that one says, your success and prosperity have allowed you to pay off debts. And that was coming up in the read for sure today. Acquire wise loans or receive a grant or scholarship. In return for heaven's blessings, be sure to share the wealth with others through donations of time or money or reputable charities. All right, so we have the dog and the lynx. The miniature poodle. This is like a poodle. And that's the 3, the 5 and the 3. They were the 3, 4, and 5 were coming up a lot in the read too. All right, so I'm going to get into the read now, so you know what I'm referencing. Okay. Oh, and by the way, my clock, I haven't corrected my bedroom clock yet from when the power went out, and it's 1 hour and 21 minutes off. So there's that 21 again. I mean, just everything was 21 today. That was 21 because I noted that up top. The SIRIAN Starseed deck, which is the main deck for the read, for those of you who don't usually tune in, is the main deck. We have the SIRIAN Starseed deck is the main deck. We have the Miniature Rider Waite. We have the Tarot of Sexual Magic, the Numerology deck. We have the Universal Golden Tarot, as well as the Gilded Tarot. And am I missing anything? Oh, and Romance Angels. I didn't say that. So we cut the SIRIAN Starseed deck at 857, which is strength of the 8 and the 57 of the 3 of Swords. And I'm starting to lose my voice again. So definitely this is about the masculines coming forward because they're opening their mouth, which that's another download I've been repeating over and over again, is that the keys are the two portals, the masculine's mouth and the feminine's baby making abilities. Okay, so the read here was finished at 9:15 to 16, which is the Devil in the Tower, along with the 9 of the Hermit, and the Devil is just the shadow side of everyone, and the 16 being the Tower, right? When you don't clear your own past or shadows in order to go forward, or you refuse to let go of that baton, that's when the Tower comes in to do it for you. The universe kind of forcing your hand. And the 9 is going within and being wise about it. So the center card here was the Page of Wands, and this deck has a mask on. And it's like a deity where someone's praying to the deity. So the energy is all about the Page of Wands today, who's inspired. It's like an inspired teenager who wants to go on a date. But I was getting the inspiration by tribal cultures and deities here. And then the challenge being the wheel reversed, the Great Wheel, or the Wheel of Fortune, that the squeaky wheel gets greased. All right, and that comes up in the read as well. For the major arcana in this read, we had Luna, which is the moon, the underlying energy there on the bottom of the deck, We had the Great Wheel, the Wheel of Fortune, Transition, which is the Death card, and Reflection, which is the Hermit. We also had Indigo and the Hanging Man before the read. And Indigo is like the Magician. We had 2 cups, 3 wands, 1 sword, and 1 pentacle. So mostly wands in action, but then cups, which is actually a nice distribution here. Not too much work, not too much swords today. And then we have the Page of Wands and the Page of Pentacles were the only 2 court cards formally in the read. We had 2 9s there too, which can definitely be characters. The Nine of Cups is how I see the Sovereign Masculine, and 9 of Wands is the Wounded Warrior, right? So we also had the Knight of Pentacles after the read and the Page of Cups as well. So a lot of young energy in the end, or messages, but lots of young energy in the read today. Then the numbers that came up and the code line were all about effort and relationship change. We had number 1 was double 9s, all right? So that's the end of the cycle, right? The 11th hour, 99 before the 100. Because today was closing out the cycle. I was getting that today is really the end, which is why I'm getting 21 all the time, that tomorrow is just like a transition day. But the end of the cycle is today. The 99 came up. We also had 66, but in a lesser sense, that's the Queen of Pentacles. We have the 56, which is the 2 of Swords, the 89, 68, which is the Page of Pentacles, and then also 2311, which is the King of Wands Shaman, and the 11 is the Justice card. The code line was all about the number 6, which is the Lovers, and you know that came up right in the center yesterday. We also had anything else? 14, 46, and 69, which is the Temperance card, the 6 of Cups, which the masculine sees himself as today, upright, and 69, which is the Ace of Pentacles, which has also been coming up a whole lot in the past months, because that's the new life coming. So it's all about effort and relationship change. We had the message here was all about the Great Wheel today. And it was very interesting what came up, as usual. So we have the fidelity, or the temperature of the I Am Presence, right? So the temperature of the masculine versus the feminine. The masculine's boiling point's much lower than the feminine. So the masculine's always been told, you know, go into your feminine when you need to bring your temperature down. The temperature of the I Am Presence of the Lovers, or the Sophia 9, the collective consciousness of the feminines, or the Sophia, or the feminine collective, divine collective, their chakra system, right? Because the chakra system has to do with the etheric body. That's the bridge in seeking your destiny. In regards to making an effort in your relationship change, divine masculines. The fidelity of the Lovers, say yes to the bridge, the gateway, to seek destiny, flow, high vibration. The Ferris wheel came up, as well as the water wheel, or the watershed, which I thought of because when I took out a shaman with my kids down in Atlanta, there was a water wheel down there when we went into the woods down the creek. And it made me think of that shed in Atlanta. So that was coming up. And Rhode Island also came up. And then of all of this around, the effort and relationship change, the reference. So the temperature is the chakra system. And then half of 10 was coming up, which is 5. And the 9 of the Hermit, or the collective consciousness, to see the energy. And the chakra system temperature is 5, right? So that's the middle of the road of the number cycle, right? Well, I always talk about the sweet spot. You always want to stay just slightly above the sweet spot, to the light side, like airing to the middle, but to the light. So just like the alkaline in the body, you know, you always want your alkaline to be a little bit above the acidic balance in your body. So that was coming up, the number 5, for some reason. Or the temperature is the Hermit. And earned income credit was coming up as well. Is the gate, this 5, this middle point, right, the 0 point, or the middle ground, moderation, is to see the energy in the Great Wheel, which is the Destiny card, of course, the turn for the better and all that kind of thing, but literally the Great Wheel, which is also fun, like the Ferris wheel. So I was looking online to see what wanted to come up, and the island came up from Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, which is the Great Smoky Mountain Wheel, the island, one of the tallest attractions in the southeast at the foothills of the most visited national park in the U.S., so they claim, and that's the Great Smoky Mountains. So they actually stated there that the first turn of the wheel was June 21st. So again, the 21 comes up, and June, which is the lovers, and that was 2013. Another header that came up was Kill 6 Billion Demons from King of Swords. And this was, and then it said 2-24, which again are the psychic abilities through the 24 of the Queen of Wands, or the karmic ending, right? The Omega. Also, gloss and rims were coming up, as well as Rolex Oyster. So the oyster's coming up with the pearl. And the Rolex Oyster Perpetual 11-6000. So again, the 11 of justice and the 6 of the lovers with 3 zeros. And then the dial was Arabic V, which V is the co-creation for me. Serial number with a blue dial for the Blu-rays. Arabic 369, it states 369 of the 3, 4, and 5D, with the V of the creation. It's really co-creation with the lowercase i's around it, but the V is creation. And then the serial number, the great wheel was said the great wheel within the watch was replaced. But there's a balance spring that's still under warranty, right? So spring is still under warranty, and it's balanced. And then Tokyo came up 3 times. That's where the Olympics is this year. Raccoon and Bird came up, and the Mazda MX-6. 6 is the lovers. So also the Great Hunt came up, the Wheel of Time, number 2 by Robert Jordan. And then Rolex came up again, 11-6610. OP39, which is the Knight of Cups, and blue again. Replaced the mainspring and Great Wheel, and they're willing to trade the Rolex DJ, and DJ came up the other day, right? The morning DJ was the prayer, and the 36 blue. 36 is the 10 of Wands, right? The letting go of all the burdens, and again for the Blu-rays, and the 39 of the Knight of Cups, offering love. The Daily Beast, the Guardian, Google Chrome came up, Seattle, Washington, Dungeons and Dragons, and Ecotopia, and Do Re Mi keeps coming up too. The different pieces of the Do Re Mi Fa Sol La Ti Do keep coming up. And then Re is, of course, the second one, or second note, which RE also means again, or again and again, or back or backward, like looking back. Also, Ra was coming up because of RE. RE is another spelling for Ra or Pra, the ancient Egypt religion, god of sun and creator god, who traveled across the sky from Britannica in their solar bark at night to make passage in another bark through the underworld, where they had to vanquish the evil serpent, Apepi. It's Apopus, spelled like Apopus, but it's Apepi in parentheses. And then real estate was also coming up, and recurrent, like in medical terms, RE has to do with recurrent things. So in dictionary.com, common might be coming up for something. RI was coming up, that acronym, and RI was coming up as Rhode Island first, right? But it was also R and I dot and R.I dot, which mean it's referenced from Latin as rex or rex, a imperator, which means not just empress or emperor, but empress and king, or empress and queen, or emperor and king. So they have dual roles. So the Royal Institution also came up, religious instruction, and Republic of Indonesia. And then FI came up from dictionary.com. It's the semitone between the 4th and 5th degree of the scale, the FI. It's also the Falkland Islands and the Franklin Institute. But the between tones was important because it was between 4 and 5, which is the 4.5. It's like the bridge, right? From the Sophia, I was getting Sophia 4 to 5, actually 4 to 6, but the 4 to 5, more specifically, coming halfway between the masculine and the feminine on the bridge. That the 5 is actually the halfway point, right? Because the 6 would then be love on the other side, heaven. But the 5 is what gets you there, right? The effort to expand over the 4D bridge. So yes, come halfway. See the energy, or seek the great wheel of the Empress Queen and the Emperor King. And then 3.5 came up because 4 is the Emperor, but 3 is the Empress. So 3.5 is also the 3.5 years of Jesus on his mission. So at 10:22, which is the wheel again, and 22, which is the Fool's Journey, I wrote down 3.5, the Empress and the Queen, and the 4.5 is the Emperor and the King. And if you add those together, 3.5 and 4.5, that's the 8, not 9 or 10, but 8, the dance of the masculine and feminine back and forth within. Plus 2 to make it the 10 for your psychic abilities, the High Priestess, both of you working on your psychic abilities together. The 3.5 plus the 4.5, because the masculine takes the lead in the 3D, feminine's the lead in the etheric realms. As you come together, you become the 8 to dance together, plus the 2 that makes the 10, that high vibration, or the turn for the better, or in other words, your destiny with your psychic abilities. SI is also International Systems of Units, the 7th tone, because SI is another way of saying T, Latido, SI. It's considered the 7th tone and sometimes the note B. And also TI is SI. And then SI is also silicon, which has come up a lot, silica, and is atomic number 14, the patients, the angels, the twins. It also is Sandwich and Staten Islands, SI, as well as Bible, Sirach, and Slovenia. And in Chinese, SI equals XI. All right, so an XI is the feminine energy plus the chakra system. So that was interesting. All right, so just give me 1 second here. All right, so I turn the page and the time is 10:24, the Wheel of Fortune, and the 24, the Queen of Wands. So I brought the code line energy forward. The water wheel was coming up regarding energy, that there may be, I was envisioning us each having our own water wheel at home, because that's a way of creating energy, another natural way besides wind energy to use the water wheel again. But like each home to have their own wheel, how cool would that be? But that was coming up. And again, this is all about effort and relationship changes. So relationships with each other, but also within yourself, and yourself with the things that you identify with or resonate with. So the 4.5 to the 5.5 bridge, you see the energy, the destiny, the watershed, the effort and relationship change regarding the Emperor and the Empress becoming not just Emperor and Emperor, right? So 3.5 to 4.5 is like the Empress and the Emperor, but you add the other numbers because you're adding the King and Queen responsibilities as well. So it's very interesting how this was all coming up, because initially it was going between 3.5 and 6, so it's getting the 3.5 to the 4.5, and now 4.5 to the 5.5 as we get over the bridge. Okay, but the 3.5 and 4.5 have to do with the Empress plus 0.5, which is the Queen, and the Emperor is the 4, plus the 0.5 is the King. The watershed comes up, which is the crucial dividing point. The water parting, the emotions parting, the line or the factor, the drainage basin or catchment, And that was from oceanservice.noaa.gov. And then it's also considered precipitation collector, and that was from Merriam, and also usgs.gov. These were different sites I was looking up there. Another site was, or from the code line, I was getting the 3 to 4, right, is the Emperor and the Empress, adding the King and Queen to, and the bridge then to 4.5 to 5.5, just above and below the sweet spot, which is 5, which was the half of 10 that I'd gotten earlier. The bridge, the gate, the watershed, in regards to effort and relationship change. The 5 being the crucial water, parting point. The measure of emotion that needs to be poured out, right? It's whatever pools is extra emotion, you don't need it anymore. And I'm equating that now to like vitamin C. You don't have to worry about taking too much vitamin C because you can pee it out and it'll pool out in your pee. So whatever that extra emotion is the watershed, right? Staying at the 5, like the wheel, right? Because the wheel takes on the water, but it dumps it off as it turns around, right? It takes it on. It's like bringing your downloads in and then passing them off. It's the same with the water and your emotions, to bring them in and then pass them off in order to stay at that 5 crucial parting point. The measure of emotion poured out, not too hot, not too cold. And also the water wheel, a natural way to create energy flow with emotion. Emotion greases the wheel. The wheel collects and then dumps the residual, always staying balanced at around 5. At 10:37 is the wheel again with the King of Cups this time, unconditional love. The wheel only carries what it can without getting stuck or weighed down. So it's keeping it light. Keep passing it on. So we start the read with the moon or Luna upright at 10:38, which is that wheel and the Queen of Cups now. So now we have the King and Queen of Cups. So here's the moon, and it is upright today. And then we have the 4 of Wands and the indigo. 4 of Wands is reversed. The indigo, which is like the Fool. The Hangman is here. And then the Knight of Swords reversed. So the moon, which we're now 4 to 5 days in waxing into the moon, which is funny because we're bringing up the 4 to 5 or the 4.5 and the 3.5 and the 5.5. The half moon around this time is unstable. When we're waxing to the full moon between eclipses, I was getting, this is the special period between the 2 eclipses, moving or ending a marriage or going to stay at a friend's house or relative's house, the magician is manifesting, hanging out and holding their tongue. Moodiness, subconsciousness, or just that feminine energy. So that's coming up with the moon. Moodiness and subconscious in the aftermath of sudden events or epiphanies of the Emperor reversed and the High Priestess reversed, out of control, not using their intuition, or the secret passion is out. Healing and dreams come true can happen to you with the Hermit shedding light, right? The watershed, the Hermit shedding light helps you see your limits or boundaries, right? The moat around the castle. Use those extra emotions that you just drained out as a moat around your castle or boundaries, right? Armoring yourself with love. So we have Scorpio reversed, Aries reversed, and Pisces reversed here, which could represent a group of people. There's also Aquarius and Virgo both upright here, as well as Cancer upright, and referencing to the mother in the North Node. And that moon in January coming up is Cancer. Follow the North Node, mothering, synchronicities of freedom to move as you please, to move, end marriage, or stay at another's house, to sit in bad feelings, or heal, or dream of the 10 of Pentacles family reversed, going away by the full moon or at night. This is after split and lies and feeling free now to leap into instability if you want, or another home, or not walk away or within, as the bird takes off to the stars with supportive family or without family. It doesn't matter either way. The Divine Masculine is still learning how to stay balanced and let them have their issues without affecting him. When the heat is on and finances are drained, can still take off to see the stars, to pursue your dreams. And unity consciousness, piggybacking off family nest to jump 7 times if needed until you fly. If your family nest is unsupportive, find another family or group that is. The Ace of Swords reversed is that split and lies and cutting through the BS to get clear or more clarity. Patience for those who want to lie, cheat, and steal and run away, and patience for yourself in taking a risk when you're dissatisfied, and patient with self when you're still dissatisfied after you've taken the risk and gotten the result that you don't want. Don't expect others to take responsibility for your actions. Have faith and patience with those who are sneaky and arrogant at 11 o'clock. 11 is the justice with a lot of source energy behind it. So at 11:01, which is justice, now the magician manifesting, one step at a time. The universe has your back, a higher love. And it was funny, my friend Bridget came up here at 11:01, and Bridget's literally bridge it. And I was missing her, missing the bridge, the coming together of a higher love. So passion comes up, and beneath that was pay attention to the red flags, which has to do with your signs and synchronicities, your guidance. At night, the family is drained, whether that's energetically or financially, and you are unhappy emotionally, sneaking around in the background and being patient as the passion comes up. Is there a fire imbalance? Allowing others to trip themselves up. Let them fall on their own. Learn their own lessons while you stay balanced. Allow them to cry, as well as yourself. In the aftermath of a jealous rage and confessions, crying, purging, dumped on, or in the dumps, no love or pushed to your emotional limits, not willing to accept second place. Right? Because that's karma. That's the ego needing an outcome, which if you're on this journey, you know that that's not something you're looking toward anymore. You're staying present in the moment. Extending an olive branch or blueberry branch, twisted pillar to twisted pillar, as mistletoe for lovers out in the cold, in another world. And then hold on one second. Those two and those two. So we've got 1x, XV50. Yeah. XV50. And 5 again is coming up because the half of the 10, because 10's here too, which actually got canceled out. So, and XV is the devil. And then we have 50. So the 15 plus 5 is also 20, which brings us to the judgment day. The devil or the shadow side's judgment day. And then we came up to the 21 today with all the numbers today. So that's coming up here. Hiding your face, and this could be a feminine energy, hiding their face with long hair in billowy sheets and cushions so others don't hear you cry in your pillow when olive branch is extended. Wanted in 5D, but the divine masculine doesn't have time for you otherwise. Money, status, addictions, religions, all more important than you. Until he goes to sleep at night, of course. Feeling the divine masculine from 12 to 4 a.m., wondering if he's alone or having sex with his partner. Him making fun of you with their tiny little violin, or not sticking up for you when others say mean things about you. And the divine feminine rising above all that, in her knowing, because she already knows her masculine, because she feels him, she is him, they feel each other every day. She knows how he's feeling, and she knows he knows who she is. She, knowing the unawakened, cannot see what she sees. Roses and rosaries, thorny, to touch something so beautiful and high vibrational requires the price of expansion, cracking your heart muscle, a new kind of workout regimen. The divine feminine is learning to trust the universal guidance, the GPS system, the guidance, Pi, Sophia. And remember, Pi is the circle with the line between it, which represents the balance of the masculine and feminine within. The guidance, Pi, Sophia system, as well as her higher self, learning to trust her twin, that neither can see the big picture yet. Trust and allow. That is faith. That which you experience is in your highest good. Sorry about that. So the universe knows what's in your highest good. So it's for you to allow and have faith that what you experience from the universe is in your highest good. And no affection here coming up from the Nine of Pentacles reversed and the Knight of Pentacles reversed, which could just be referencing the masculine and feminine with no affection between each other, but no longer working. So it's not necessarily that they're in negative energy. Forgiveness, 96 comes up, and beneath that was spiritual career, number 78, the 10 of Pentacles. So that 10 of Pentacles could be a business that you work for. It can represent business and family, or a big institution as well. And then that's when my daughter called. That was 11:22, Justice and the Fool. And it was 3 minutes, which is the Empress, which is the mother. The daughter calling the mother for help, which was the energy about today. And it's funny because I actually got cut off because the reception down there is terrible at 11:25, and 25 is that Knight of Wands, because the Knight of Wands is catching up, right? In the race, the Knight of Wands is the one who's in the relay race, catching up to meet the other baton, or the one with the baton. So suffering and silence, defenseless to energies, over isolating or coming out. The King of Cups reversed is sad. It's at the King and the Queen. I don't know where I'm up to. I thought the King was upright, but I could be wrong. I'll find him. Yeah, the King of Cups is upright. So this is actually the Queen of Cups reversed. Sometimes I write the K by accident. The Queen of Cups reversed is sad, dramatic or emotionally detached, unhappy. Am I getting this right? Oh no, the King of Cups in the underlying energy is reversed. So I was right. The King of Cups reversed is sad, dramatic or emotionally detached in the underlying energy still. Unhappy family, end of emotional cycle, of frustrations about debt, scams, or financial irresponsibilities. Inequitable relationship at 11:33. Justice and the Christ vibration, or the Seven of Wands, standing up for yourself without getting triggered. Not emotionally fulfilled is what feeds into the pop top, the frustration, the inability to conceive. Two busy bees falling away from the Six of Cups of love due to finances. So we turn the page, it's 11:41 of Justice and the Ace of Cups. Jupiter in Capricorn brings out worries about stability, the change of focus from Sagittarius to Capricorn, freedom versus responsibility, and then frustrated when home and or money are not balanced, moving, ending a marriage, or visiting another home, learning to share, to compromise, worried about future outcomes instead of being present. These all are things that will bring up frustration for you in the expansion process. As we build toward the night and this full moon, and changing the years as we go to 2019 to 2020, family dysfunction and dissatisfaction will be coming up now to clear. All right, so we have the next full moon is January 10th. That's the eclipse, the solar eclipse. Excuse me, the lunar eclipse. I keep getting them confused. And it's in Cancer. I believe it's a total lunar eclipse in Cancer on January 10th. And then the next new moon is January 24. So here's the 24 again of the Queen of Wands and the Omega. As the new moon, the backbone, the joints, the knees, the skin and hair were coming up online. And also the time is coming up as 4:44. That was the January 24th one, though. That's on the East Coast. So, by the way, we're going from Aquarius today. The moon's in Aquarius going to Pisces at 10:42. So I guess that was this morning. So we're in Pisces energies now through New Year's Eve. And Pisces relate to feet, toes, and the pineal gland. Very interesting. So debt, worry, inequity at the full moon, Cancer. The stock market and big business drops with dissatisfaction and the world upside down, and forgiveness required here. The recent past is the Nine of Cups reversed. And by the way, you guys all know that the market's very volatile at the first of the year because all the brokers sell for tax purposes at the end of the year. So there's always a big dramatic change at the end of the year. But then January tends to pick up a lot as well, and you get a lot of highs in January. So recently is the Nine of Cups reversed, unhappy alone or not getting your wish, defensive at war and separation, heartbreak, rain or minor surgery, and downturn or twist of fate. And then again, I spoke to my daughter again. It was 21 minutes, the world, and endings. The Queen of Pentacles tripped up or breaking patterns or being stuck on the warpath, broken, breakdown, breakup, breakthrough, ambulance energy, issues with move or traveling, or running roughshod over others when you're worried or feeling uncomfortable emotions, which causes that frustration feeling. Weakness, ego death, or Leo out of control, living in the past or looking or going back to the Empress or the Mother energy, and the Hierophant, religious leader, which could be a minister, a priest, a rabbi, etc., or Taurus, establishment or healer. It's like, the order of lineup of who you go to when you have a problem. You go to the Mother, then you pray, then you go to a healer or a doctor. The Queen of Pentacles in the past, when weak, always seeking counsel as opposed to going within. So, and this could be in the masculine's life, someone who's always looking for attention or medical care, which could end up costing a lot of money. Looking for quick fixes or attention, and then not doing what they advise. So going to advisors just for the attention, but then actually not doing what they ever tell you to do. Taurus upright again, and Virgo upright here. So there could be 3 people in a group here, as well as then Cancer and Leo both reversed. And then again, Taurus and Libra reversed. The Empress could be Taurus. The Hierophant may be a Libra, healer, or Hermit with light, could be Virgo. The foundation here is the transition card reversed, so the death card reversed, which is Scorpio energy, taking I'm trying to read the word I wrote there. Oh, it's like it's taking forever to end with this transition reversed. So the process feeling like it's taking forever to end, and resisting full changes from happening, or near-death experience, or just dead tired, inspired by rejection, or vulnerability, or shyness of kids or twins at 1246, which is the Hangman, and then the 6 of Cups, the children hugging each other in this deck. Or the Page of Wands is upright and the Page of Cups reversed, happy memories in another world. Or world is still incomplete. The cycle isn't quite done yet. At 1246, suffering in silence, stressed or purging to get over loss and regret, guilt and shame, getting through the night that never ends, the dark night of the soul, with unhappy people and finances, energy loss and dysfunctional family and or business around. The central energy is the Page of Wands with the mask inspired to take off. The King of Cups letting go to repair lovingly, with the worst being over, with bliss on the menu. Dysfunctional family or financial loss or not. Keeping to self, just being in their knowing and having faith. Reaping rewards, and this could be the Page of Wands, of the King of Pentacles, challenged by the downturn or twist of fate or Libra reversed energy. The King of Pentacles finds emotional fulfillment. Injured and checked out or out in the cold, the King of Swords is in their truth at work, needing to be cold or heartless or maybe feeling that way, to be in their truth. The 10 of Cups upright is that happiness of a family or cycle ending, and the Queen of Wands reversed is over the loss and regret. The Page of Wands reaping rewards of the King of Pentacles at the workplace, or the Page of Wands is inspired by the King of Pentacles reaping rewards at the workplace. The Queen of Wands is reversed, still looking back frustrated or living in the past without passion or growth, unable to conceive that this emotional cycle would end, or going back to deal with a mother or work for a mother or empress again, or can't conceive the divine masculine would want to work with the empress, or that the divine feminine would work with her. The King of Wands reversed is weak in ego death, or with an out-of-control Leo, or his own ego, taking forever to change, dead tired, working on his divine feminine, half at work, and patience. The Leo reversed, Scorpio reversed, and Sagittarius were upright here. The worst over, the bliss state. Release from prison of anxiety and fear. The Queen of Cups and Page of Cups both reversed, which could be a Virgo and a Cancer, or Scorpio, or Mama's boy, or mother and child, both spoiled and whiny, or holy infancy, mother and child, possible miscarriage or small medical issue for child, or like mother, like child, taking forever to end or transition, the King of Swords and Queen of Pentacles. The Virgin Mother, Jesus and Mary Magdalene. Now crowning is the Five of Wands on a quest. The conflict or fight, competition or game. At night, or building up to the full moon, with the eclipses around, and defenseless to the energies and attacks. Working to align, details, or getting your ducks in a row, without attention under the radar, the King of Swords getting out of debt, or reconciliations, right? Taking care of their statements. The Knight of Swords reversed, and the Knight of Wands upright, and the Queen of Swords speaks of the wounded warrior's fight, or plight, holding their tongue, with the Knight of Wands at work or busy at work. And the Queen of Wands reversed, coming up as an Aries, could have also Leo or just ego, moving out from the King of Wands reversed to be free from fighting and verbal abuse of Scorpio bite and Sagittarius patience. Partnership dying or transition is taking forever, but worst is over emotionally and anxiety and stress free, debt settling out after stuck without peace, ending a painful situation could involve alcohol and or depression. Starting over in love, the Hermit and or Virgo missing their flame, the Queen of Cups reversed and the Page of Cups reversed with no reunion, no love, only purging or addictions or parties and such at 123, 123 jump. That's the Magician and the 23 of the King of Wands, Shaman. We turn the page to the 24 of the Magician and the Queen of Wands. So this could be also, there's no New Year's party here. Virgo and Scorpio without reunion or affection or gossip, over or underindulging in bad behaviors, or a negative group that they need to disconnect from. No more hovering at the gate or the Y in the road, starting from scratch, but afraid to make the changes to let things die and transform with the King of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. Soon is the Hermit or Virgo, reflection at work of the Empress or about the Empress, looking back at frustrations, unable to get aroused or develop new growth. Released from prison, anxiety, feeling trapped with your hands tied, getting out of all this energy and hanging out in detox of chaos, keeping to self to stay balanced, in knowing but ignoring the calls or announcements or judgments, hanging out at the Y just a little bit longer. The divine masculine seeing himself as the Six of Cups upright, that strong bond without judgment, reaping rewards, appreciating what you put into it, or with gratitude for what you have or have done, daydreaming what to do with it. Should I retire, dump my burdens, and or confess, and then take the lead on the Fool's journey with the twin. Give your relationship a chance and let friends help you. Both came up here for the masculine. Around the masculine, or how he is seen, is the Eight of Swords reversed, released on your own recognizance, following guidance, synchronicities of the Queen of Cups reversed that makes him sad, drained of energy, as well as kids and or Leo or ego, the injustice of overexposure. But now he can rest and have that 5D connection between the Justice reversed with Libra energy and or the Queen of Cups reversed, water sign energy. So it could be Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, but it doesn't have to be. It could just be someone who's got those traits of being very nurturing and intuitive, along with the Justice, and that could be a judge as well. But it's really coming up as injustice because it's reversed. The masculine needs to clear blocks of the Nine of Wands, the victim mentality of the wounded warrior, spreading the word and having fear of that, small news, messages of jealousy and sincerity and refusal to give or receive love and share. The masculine needs to clear blocks about others knowing your business. Effort and then relationship change came up with self and the higher self connection and or with addictions, but even more so for the masculine today comes up intuition to use it. Pushing one out of bed who refuses to wake up and keeping them quiet is another story altogether. The Page of Pentacles discovering their abilities on a quest for higher knowledge, moving without telling, or someone's moving without telling the kids because they can't keep their mouth quiet, and choosing the path left, the new, and releasing judgment of the Empress, or released without bail or from a work release program. But releasing judgment of the Empress, of the divine, of the Hanging Man in detox, right? So worried about people judging you. And then the Dead Man rising without judging the crowd. So Jesus on the cross, not having judged the crowd for having judged him. Starting over with third party, Hermit, mother and child, after ending things with the King of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles, or vice versa, where the Queen of Cups and Page of Cups have to do with the partnership. Or after no reunion, finally transitioning to the King of Swords and Queen of Pentacles to discover your abilities together. Or an empathic child who's coming along, and another with mother who may have ghosted with child. Split, lies, and where's the tape? Dumped, no reunion, and the King of Wands reversed with Leo and or ego reversed to offer new life to themselves and start over with their intuitive abilities at 151, which is the Magician and the King of Swords. So here's the masculine coming into his truth and his manifestation as the Emperor and the King, but also the Magician. We're sharing the page to 152, which is the feminine energy of the Magician embodiment of the 52 and the Queen of Swords, being in her truth. The Knight of Pentacles reversed, the Page of Pentacles inspired to learn, cutting through the BS for clarity, and the Knight of Pentacles reversed could be being stubborn and unable to find peace with the Page of Cups reversed, who could be whiny and moody, or the Knight of Pentacles is just between jobs in a split, and the Page of Cups reversed is just not feeling good, vulnerable, or spoiled and whiny, or a baby crying or sick. The Hierophant and Magician, or Taurus and Virgo, or Gemini, with an opportunity to learn or study together. The traditional with the non-traditional, mixing responsibility with magic and gold coin. The Koan, or the Cohen. 4 to 6 children, or combined with adult children here. The Page of Pentacles, or 2 Page of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles reversed, or 2 Knight of Pentacles reversed, an older dependent girl, like a teen, and the Page of Cups reversed, the baby, gotta love me. 2 sets of twins, or the Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles reversed on 2 timelines in a shift. Or 2 older kids and 2 younger kids. Only the Page of Pentacles is upright here at the moment. Or it could be 1 to 3 kids, or actually 1 to 4 kids, and then the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine without affection and needing to depend on each other for forgiveness. The full moon, the nighttime, the long transition, dead tired, twins and kids hugging and out of anxiety. After not getting wish at night, at rebalancing a relationship, the Page of Wands is challenged by the twist of fate or the downturn, reflecting about the Hermit and the wounded warrior in conflict, or rather the quest to study their abilities after split and cutting through the BS, not working, a need for a peaceful place, vulnerable and feeling rejected, or just vulnerable and shy. And at night, dissatisfied, alone, imbalanced or depleted, in transition, taking forever to inspire the masked boy to finally take it off and go on a quest to expand. Challenged by that twist of fate, the downturn of whatever in your life, the twins hold on to each other and reflect alone together their abilities and release the wounded warrior mentality, and now using their abilities. And that was at 2:10, which again brought up the 21, finalized on the 21. So here within the times we had the King and Queen of Cups with showing their unconditional love, and then the King and Queen of Swords coming into their magician embodiment, and then that led into the end of the cycle blurb that I gave you in the beginning. So I'm going to pull a few more. It was just 1 o'clock too, or excuse me, not 1 o'clock, but 1 hour. All right, so we finished that about 1 hour, and we're going to pull you a few more oracle cards just to kind of bring everything to a close. We'll start with the Metatron deck today. Today is December 30th, 2019. For everyone watching, in the best and highest good of all those concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Take a deep breath. We're clearing all negativity from the energy here, across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities, for the highest good of all those concerned, and filling that empty space with beautiful divine love and diamond crystalline light, and so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so Metatron, what do you have to tell us today? What do we need to know at the end of the year, the end of December, the end of this read? What does this read mean to us? What is our message? All right, a couple cards that want to come out. We have Mirrors You, okay, so that's significant. The Cosmos mirrors you, as above, so below, etc. And it's number 20 again, so Judgment and the World, and 22 are, as well as 21, 22, 23, and 24, the 4 relay race, are all coming up. It's like we're at 20, whereas we're going from 20 to 21 today, because 21 was coming up all day this morning. Not all day, but all this morning. And so we were coming out of the 20 from yesterday, because Judgment was big yesterday, into the 21 to close up the year. All right, and going into a new cycle, which is perfect. The second card that wants to be seen here is the 27, which says always open, the Metatron Rainbow Bridge. All right, so we're talking about that too. Headed over the Rainbow Bridge in the relay race. Mirrors you, as above, so below. The 3D gate holder, the 5D gate holder. One takes the lead in the etheric realms, the masculine takes the lead in the 3D realm. And we have 27 here with the Ace of Wands. That's new passion, new inspiration, new growth, new conception. Okay, so 20 and 27. And then the third card here that wanted to be seen, oh, there's 2 there, is Mother Earth. So it was all about the mother today as well, grounding and support, like depending on your mother for support, but that's also the earth. And that's 18 of the moon and sin again. And then we have boundaries. See them daily. We talked about the moat as well, right? Armoring yourself with love. Using the residual emotion to armor yourself with. And that's 14 of having patience. And the angels. Okay. And then we have the portal there as well. Let's see how these look together. These are the 4 cards that came up free from Metatron. All right. So we have the mirroring of the galactic to the earth, the rainbow bridge between them, the 18 of the sin. Ah, this is like the sin too, right? The 40 days and 40 nights and the 40 years out in no man's land. Mother Earth always took care of them. Always rely on the mother for grounding and support. That sin is good, right? So we always think of our mothers yelling at us as something bad, but it's actually their gift to us to help us clear our wounds. And then we end up here at the portal, crossing the bridge, literally with the key. This is perfect. Boundaries, set them daily. So once you've crossed over, and even now, you still have your keys, right? The masculine has their key and the feminine has their key. Use your keys, your mouth, and your ability to create to set your boundaries for things that you don't resonate with. And I love this. This is definitely like the bridge. We have the bridge over here and the desolate energy between. Right? Because that's like the 4D time, right? The murkiness of the bridge. Like getting over the rainbow to the heaven, to the 5D. Okay, and then set your boundaries. Really beautiful. Wasn't expecting that. And then the underlying energy here is the diamond. The white, purity and innocence. And there's the diamond and the wings as well. 51 is the King of Swords. All right? That he's no longer the diamond in the rough. He has his wings, and he is now polished off. Beautiful. All right. Would you like a yoga pose today? Let's see what comes up for you in the yoga deck. All right, what's coming up? What do these guys need to know in a yoga position? What's good for everybody here? For the best and highest good of all is concern. Nope. One card, please. It's getting a little bit choppy. What is the pose we need to know? All right, well, there's a couple that want to come up here, but I'm just going to let them come up here. All right, you have the triangle. All right, so doing this. I'm just going to show you the instructions on the other side if you want to read them. For the triangle, we also have the through the whole stretch. Okay, that's a good one for me, for your hips. And there's the instructions. And then one more one to be seen as well. So again, the mountain. All right, so just stretching up, stretching out your ribs and your shoulders. And here's the instructions. Okay. Just 1 second there. And I definitely want to go from the Nature's Whispers, all right? This is a different energy, okay? So again, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn? The wind is really blowing outside. It's like, woo, I hear it. All right. That wasn't. All right, so what is last message for us? Maybe I'll give you one more, but we'll see. What does everyone need to know today? December 30th, that definitely came out. Pause. And that's what I was saying. It's like we're pausing, like we're ending today, but tomorrow's just kind of like a timeout day. That pause as we go into the 4-year, the 2020. Perfect. I don't think I've seen this card yet. It's really beautiful. It's like the fairy tale. The tail end of the fairy tale. And you see how it's like a fairy tale? Like a peacock? Fairy tale. And this card wants to be seen as well. Seek beauty, 44, perfect. So 44 is the 4 of cups, the mastering, grounding, and integrating that offer of love, to see the beauty in your journey. All right, and if you put these cards together, what do we have? Which also came up in one of the times coming up for the newer full moons. I forget which one it was. We have 444 there between them. All right, as we go into the 2020 year. So then also April 4th is going to be a big date this year, 444. To seek the beauty. And so much about in the moment. Just see what's all around you. The candle, the flame, you know, the sun and the moon, the waters, the animals, the steps, the home. Just everything to have such gratitude for it today. You might want to light multiple candles. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think there's 9 candles here, so it'd be like a menorah 8 plus the 1, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, there's 9 flames lit in that card. And this is like to the your inner feminine, from the little girl to the woman, celebrating your birthdays of the 9 is the collective consciousness of the feminine, right? This is like the rising of the feminine, and this is like your birthday. They say it's your birthday. No, 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 no. Well, happy birthday to ya. All right, saying happy birthday to the divine feminine, December 30th, 2019. And then the bottom of the deck, we have renewal of peace, which is 13. And there you go, the transition, the end. Oh, look at the little baby. Renewal of peace. Look at all the little animals all coming to see the baby. The birth. I want to show it to you. Hold on. Oh, so cute. Okay, so we got a squirrel, and we have a bird there. We have a frog, a little baby with the beautiful little angel wings, and then I don't know what they are, like a chipmunk and something else. But anyway, you see them all. Nestled into the bottom of the tree, right? Nestled in the mother's arms. It's the trunk of the tree. That Mother Nature takes care of all of its babies. That it's definitely referencing, you know, they're all like babies. It's referencing the birth of the new year. And allow yourself to rest and sleep and feel and nuzzle up with your mommy or Mother Nature. Which is very interesting because my son just came home and transitioned from his job, and my daughter's coming home to visit on the 10th, which is the eclipse, right? I didn't even think of that, but yeah. So it was definitely, and I was talking to my son, I was definitely getting to that it's like time to reach out now, like not to wait for the first of the year, but to wait to confirm things or, you know, make contracts till after the 10th, after the eclipses are done. Renewal of peace. Peace on earth. With the rise of the feminine. And that's not just women, it's the feminine within both, the masculine and the feminine. All right, last deck is the energy deck. And then I'll let you go. All right. What do we have here? Oh, that one flew out. Third chakra, Archangel Shaman again. 37, which is the King of Cups, unconditional love. Use your yellow energy, your confidence to shine to the world. And masculines especially. I hear you have your wings and your diamonds all polished. So to spread your wings and fly, that you're ready to leave the nest. Third chakra, Archangel Shamuel. Beautiful. And it was just 1313. All right. And then the bottom of the deck is, again, the storm warning. Saying it's coming. Be ready. Storm warning. Got a twister here. That's the divine feminine. Right? The divine feminine clears the path, and then the masculine's like following behind, cleaning it up on the 3D level. So she's up in the etheric realm. Right? Creating the vortex. And he's a cleanup crew. And behind that is the door to personal healing and happiness, right? Okay, we're going from this to this. This is the underlying energy as we come into the storm. Everything comes together as it should. All as it should be. Got the rainbow and the bridge and the pure white integrity and purity of love. The door to personal healing and happiness, loving yourself. And then here comes the storm, the twister, right? That takes Dorothy to the Emerald City, right? Before all that happiness, you had anxiety, and Spirit's really connecting with me about Dorothy. All right? So going to see the Emerald City, here's the Emerald, going to see the wizard, right? Follow the yellow brick road. There's no place like home. You always had it inside of you all along. You didn't need anything outside yourself. You always had it within you, the relay race. You always knew the answer. Okay. It was just 444. All right, you guys. I have to show you the cards. All right, say hi to my guys. They're so cute. All right. The underlying energy is the moon. Recent past is the 9 of chalices. The foundation was that transition card, or the death card. Okay, and those are the clarifiers. The center card is the page of flames or wands, the challenge being the great wheel. The other underlying energy is up here. And then we have the crowning energy is that, I was getting the crowning glory, is that 5, right? The 5 of flames, because that's the midpoint, the 0 point, the moderation. And as we traverse across the bridge, we come across reflection, or the hermit going within. The masculine sees himself as the 6 of cups. And around him, or how he's seen, is the 8 of orbs, or out of anxiety, because it was reversed today. And then we have the wounded warrior, so learning to clear the blocks around that victim mentality. And notice the colors of the yellow and blue, speaking their truth. And as Shamuel, using the yellow for confidence, to shine your light. Then we end up on that page of crystals, which is also like a pentacle or a coin, Kohan, right? Studying your psychic abilities of that page of pentacles. Above that is the Ace of Swords, or orbs, reversed. Then we have the Knight of Pentacles reversed, and then the 6 of Swords reversed, and then the Page of Cups reversed. So all these negative kid energies. So I hope you guys don't have a bunch of whiny kids around. But anyway, that's kind of the energy there. But then we end up with the Hierophant and the Magician side by side upright with the gold coin, ready to study their abilities together. So there's really magical energy here, guys. Be in your knowing. You know better than anyone what's inside of you, what you feel, and the miracles that are true. It can only happen to you. Right? Rise and be love, you guys. Bye.